combine without warming up, ran 4.27 in the 40, and refused to do any more drills. In an interview with the Giants, he stopped them mid-conversation to ask where their draft pick was. Unsatisfied with the response, Prime got up and told him he wouldn't be available at that spot, and promptly walked out. In a draft class with a few other future Hall of Famers, Sanders' enigma and brash personality is probably the reason he fell to 5th slot, straight into the Atlanta Falcons' lap. But at first, it didn't feel like that for the Falcons. Sanders was set on playing in both the MLB and the NFL. Drafted by the Yankees while having contract issues with Atlanta, Sanders worked his way into the Yanks' starting lineup. In the truest primetime fashion, Sanders blasted a home run for the Yankees, then made his Falcons debut less than a day later. And what a debut it was. I guess teams didn't learn from his college career, as Sanders returned his first punt returned 66 yards for a touchdown. Sanders was only a professional for 1 week, and he'd done something no one had ever done. Homered in the MLB and scored a touchdown in the NFL within a day's time. In all actuality, never done before. To make his schedule easier, Sanders signed with the Atlanta Braves in 1990, but it didn't take long before Sanders got tired of not being able to play in the baseball playoffs because the NFL season coincided. He manufactured his second deal to allow him to play both at the same time. In his first full postseason in baseball, Deion Sanders played outfield for the Braves in a World Series. All he did next was show up without any training camp and missing a quarter of the season to earn an All-Pro corner and a Pro Bowl punt returner nod. His time with the Falcons had come to an end when he scored 10 return touchdowns and was twice named the best cornerback in football. He signed with the 49ers next and had arguably the greatest year of his legendary career. He picked off 6 passes, 3 of which he scored on. On just those 6 interceptions, Prime set a still-standing interception return single-season mark at 303 yards. Sanders and the 49ers won the NFC Championship, which led to another Prime first, being the only player to play in a World Series and a Super Bowl. Sanders ended up coming up with a fourth-quarter interception in the big game to win his first championship.
Famous quote, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good.
That was dead serious. That's way back in college. I think I went to my last game renting a black stretch limo, and I had this tuxedo with a Houdini hat because I knew that was it. I wanted to go out in style.
A sellout. You do know Deion Sanders has 5 kids, right? You do know that they offered him $30 million over the next 5 years. You do know that you would take that money if you were in his shoes. You do know he donated half of his $300,000 salary to renovations at JSU because the facilities were shit. You do know Colorado has about 110 or so players and 51 of them are black. You do know that Deion Sanders gave JSU their highest winning season in the history of the franchise. You do know that he brought more attention to HBCU football and that university than anybody has in the last 20 years when it comes to a cable network perspective. You do know that he used all of his relationships to secure endorsement deals for uniforms, shoes, and money for the university. You do know that Deion Sanders has 5 kids, right? You do know that, right? You do know that Deion Sanders is putting himself in position to potentially be a black NFL head coach. You do know you'll feel stupid in the next 5 years when he takes on an NFL franchise and you were the one saying he should have stayed at JSU. You do know that there are only three black coaches in the NFL right now.
Brother, do you know that nothing you just said gave a good description as to the reason why he's not a sellout? Do you know that just because you say, do you know, does not mean that you're giving a good argument. Just means that you're saying, do you know? I mean, it really does not matter. None of those accolades matter when it comes to his integrity. I mean, I'm just saying, man. And I don't want y'all to get any of this twisted. When it comes to Deion Sanders, this is not a hate video. Deion Sanders is the man. There's just a few things that we got to point out that I feel like were overlooked throughout the course of this man's career. Deion Sanders is the man. Dude is arguably the best player in the greatest draft class of Hall of Famers that we've ever seen. A top 5 pick in a draft class that included Troy Aikman, Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas. The only draft pick out of those top 5 that did not pan out was Tony Mandarich. Deion Sanders was the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Dude is the greatest defensive back of all time. Surely the greatest cornerback of all time. He made me want to be a cornerback. Everybody wanted to be Prime. Dude was the man. Between him and Barry Sanders, they were the class of the NFL. And you cannot debate that, and I never would. You feel me? And the only reason it's an argument that he's the best in this draft class is because of Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time. Dude was special. But what separated him in prime time was Prime had the ability to entertain. He would keep your eyeballs glued to the screen, waiting to see what the man would do next.
Deion Sanders did what?
Man, listen, he released a rap album, played in the World Series, and played in the Super Bowl. Not to mention, he hit a home run and scored a touchdown the same week, Jay. Bro,
What kind of superhero is this?
I don't know, bro, but I do know this. It ain't gonna be no more of them, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
Hip-hop culture was starting to turn everything around, and Deion was at the forefront of that, being the first person you ever seen talk about money like Floyd.
He took the flavor that we was all in the hood kicking and took it onto the football field.
When he took his helmet off, he had a bandana wrapped around his head. It just felt like a rapper that could play baseball and football at the same time.
Deion with all the gold chains and the shades, that was definitely inspirational. Primetime always been cool as hell.
The man was beloved by the hip-hop community. So I think a better comp for him would be Allen Iverson almost a decade later. But the same thing that made Deion great also exposed his vulnerabilities. The consistent showboating that he did every time he got in front of the camera was like blood in the water to sharks for the people with power. It showed that his talent and likeness could be purchased for $1.
It was my desire for wealth. For my love of money at the time,
Amen.
I stopped cussing.
They said you're going to be the highest paid coach in Colorado history. Now, the AD said he ain't got no bread. He ain't got no bread for you. He got no bread for you right now. So.
The Colorado Buffaloes gave Deion Sanders a $29.5 million contract in late 22 to make him their next head coach. Their athletic director admitted that they didn't even have the money to pay Deion.
This man's lust over money stripped him of the control over his career and his talents. He no longer owns his likeness. Everything he does is strategically done by the ones at the top. So don't be surprised if you see him eventually go to the NFL. It's all about where they can make the most profit and also utilize his massive influence towards their advantage, despite what Prime may tell you.
You don't want to coach in the NFL?
Not one bit. It's hard for me to coach a person that makes a lot of money that does not truly love the game that blessed me.
Would you be the head coach or the general manager of the Chargers?
I don't want to do pros. I love college. I would never do pros.
I don't believe that. You are the very person who had a song called Must Be the Money.
In other words, Ocho was saying you lying. And Prime, you know how I know you lying? Because you made a whole song, Must Be the Money, begging the powers that be for $1. So now you have no control over your career. And I know Prime said this.
They're
I'm straight.
turning me
I know,
out.
I'm straight.
And if they show you that money, guess where we gonna be at?
I'm so glad you said that. So let me address this one thing at a time.
Yes,
Must
sir.
Be the Money was a testimony. I wasn't bragging about the money. I was saying must be the money that's turning y'all on.
I just got a hard time believing that, Prime. Now I know the lyrics to the song Must Be the Money sound like that's what it could have been. But in all honesty, when you dig deeper and look at everything you did beyond that, like coming out with a remix to that song in 2024 with Yellow Beezy, it lets me know that you're begging for the dollars.
And that's the reason people are aiming every can that they eat. I don't want it. People talking about it. Yeah, they talk about me. Come on. You can go. Let's go. And never run out. Get money on the web. We'll be stunning every time a young pulling out. Never appreciated, underrated, but the best. Yes, now that cost my chest of impressed. No, I don't stress, cause you know I'm staying blessed. I'm coming, baby. Now I told you that I came. The lights don't blind me. See, I'm used to the fame. Prime, been prime, I'm before my time. 7 figures hit away back since '89. It ain't been good to me, the good, been good. God's been good. It's my time for you to see weight of the people weigh heavy on my shoulders. Sip the glue, pin and twitter.
If you ask me, these songs seem like a man who is desperate for attention. All eyes on me. Pay attention to me. Must be the money. You see how I'm bragging? You see how I'm trolling? And that brings up what I really think is going on with Deion. I believe that when it comes to Deion, it was all a plan from the beginning. The man's life was set up from the beginning. It was all an act, because he's an actor.
Deion Sanders is fading way back.
Hey, now, pigs in the blanket, may I?
Sure, help yourself.
Sanders catches it. Here they come. Here comes Sanders. He's carrying the ball and the tackler into the end zone. Touchdown.
Man, all right.
Hey, is he eating a pig in a blanket?
And hold up, you are not Deion Sanders, are you?
Deion, this is my friend Moesha. She was just leaving.
Excuse us, Deion. Give me the scoop. Why are you going out with Deion Sanders?
Because he asked me.
No, really. Did you win some Super Bowl contest or something?
Get out, Mo.
Check this out. You didn't tell me that this was gonna be no promotional tour.
No, baby, it's just gonna be me and you. No blocking, no flags, no uniforms. But I have to get rid of my suicidal friend first.
Check this out. I'll be in the limo, okay?
All right.
Bye, Moesha.
Bye, Deion.
Deion Sanders, what are you doing here?
Hey, Mary, my man, it's been a long time. How's the knee? The tax problem?
Better, working on it. You here to rent the house?
No, actually, I came to tell you, you need to quit riding around in limousines perpetrating using my name.
All right, I'm sorry. I get treated better when I say I'm Emmitt Smith anyway.
And to y'all motherfuckers who don't understand, remember, Satan is very boastful. He loves to brag about everything he does. He thinks you're too stupid to notice it and do anything about it. So he'll put it right in front of your face for you to be able to see what's going on. He believes that you will never be able to connect the dots. And these motherfuckers who are in positions of power, who control and run everything, they are just like their God. Very boastful, very bragful. They will put it right in front of your face. The reason being is the fact that these motherfuckers know that spiritually, if you see something you know is fucked up, you do nothing about it, you ignore it, that means that you are in agreement with it. So you're agreeing to something by default that you don't even realize you're agreeing to. Gotta understand how these motherfuckers play. Evil works night and day. They never take a day off. And as we all know, this man Deion operates the same way, very bragful.
Who's the best coach in college football today?
Let me see a mirror so I can look at it.
You feel that?
What? You think I'm gonna sit up here and tell you somebody else? You think that's the way I operate? That somebody else got that on me?
What's the stat line if you go one-on-one with Tyreek Hill?
I'm prime.
So does he catch? I mean, he's got to catch something. He's
No.
You
can't even ask me that. I'm prime.
He doesn't beat you deep.
No. I'm prime.
50 yards, touchdowns.
I'm prime. I don't think you guys understand.
You would lock him down.
I got 2 jackets.
Tyreek Hill. Zero catches, 0 yards.
Yeah. I got a red jacket for the NFL's 100. And I got a gold jacket for the Hall of Fame. You can't even ask me stuff like that. I'm prime. I got 3 jackets in the closet, and I didn't buy either of them.
You're up.
Hey, Deion, I was just wondering if you could...
hold on. Let's back up a little bit. You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion. Okay.
I call Nick Saban Nick.
Yeah, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a lie. If you call Nick Nick, you know you get cussed out on the spot. Do that. Treat me like Nick.
Okay, Deion.
Do not allow my confidence to offend your insecurity. Oh, if I could get up and dance, I would dance right now. If I could get up and shout, I would shout right now. Do not allow my confidence to offend your insecurity, because I dress like I dress because I'm confident. I look like I look because he's confident. We walk like we walk because we're confident. I don't even use cologne. Now, somebody asked me, what is that you're wearing? I say, confidence.
It looks like you're wearing your signing bonus here. I mean, plus we can see the nice primetime logo already, or what?
Yeah, we got sweatsuits started, jackets started, everything. We got it going on here. Everybody got on jury.
Even the baby got a little something. We ready now.
So now, this shit should bring up questions that you have to ask yourself. How is it that a man who is this cocky and this confident, who lives in a huge mansion like this, on the brink of destruction and destroying himself, he was ready to off himself? He told y'all that. Just listen.
I'm in a 15,000 square foot house, but never feeling at home. I have hundreds and hundreds of suits, but I can't cup up the pay. I got 500 or more pair of shoes, but I can't take a step in the right direction. Several cars parked in the driveway, but I ain't going.
You won't believe what happened to one of the greatest athletes of all time. Deion Sanders was arguably one of the greatest athletes, and in the world's eyes, he had it all. Money, fame, women, but at the end of his career, he drove his car off a cliff in an attempt to kill himself and end it all.
Dig down deep within and ask yourself that question. Why would you be ready to end it all whenever you achieved every goal that you worked your whole life for? Makes no sense, right? And I don't like to speak on a man and his children, but when it comes to a man and his children, that right there will tell you everything you need to know about that said man, what type of dude he is. And when it comes to Deion and his children, they have this fabricated industry relationship that's all for the media, but when it comes to real shit, dude absent or cold-hearted towards his children over it. Like whenever his BM and his daughter exposed how he truly is behind closed doors with them multiple times.
She said now she's a Moor. She does not have to abide by the rules and regulations and the laws of this country.
How about supporting somebody else? We know you have your favorites. We all know that. We've all seen it throughout life.
Where's your door?
Sam went together.
Come on now, what you doing? You need to meet this gentleman right here. How you doing, man? How are you? Good, man. We'll watch this play.
Like, can you at least act like you support me? Nigga, you're weird.
Killer Maya enters the transfer portal.
Yeah, which was I'm the leader of the family. So I've been dictating where my kids go, not them dictating where I go.
You supported if he is the one who thought about it. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you, and I will always be here supporting you because I'm a real mom. You always talk about a present person. Don't. Stop talking about a present parent. Don't make me say more than I have to say. Stop talking about being a present parent. You always talk about a present person. Don't. Stop talking about a present parent. Don't make me say more than I have to say. Stop talking about being a present parent.
This one's pretty funny. Who's your favorite son on and off the field? That might be a tough question.
Think about this. No, think about this month. Think about this.
This month,
I'm just saying.
Had a really good month.
You're about to say something.
You really had a good month.
Yeah, all right.
You've had a good month.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you that. You've had a good month.
Folks get on camera, just forget everything.
And the day we had a workout at noon, but some of my meetings went over, and you were actually there.
Yes. He's supposed to be on time. You pat him on the back for something he's supposed to do.
Now, parents, I'm speaking to y'all. Come on, let's be real. We all got that one that has a little bit more favor than all the rest of them. Doesn't mean we love any of the rest of them any less. Just means that we vibe and connect with that one a lot more than the others. We relate to them a lot better. So I don't knock him for that. But what I will say is you can definitely tell that he wasn't present in a lot of the other ones' lives. And especially for his girls, because the way that they are going about things and the way that they rock. Like his oldest daughter, Deandra.
Forever, she's Elma. She's like a dream.
And Deandra told y'all herself that the relationship between her and her daddy is not the same.
Yeah, we're about to go see my daddy, aka y'all favorite coach.
Still in the works out. When I was growing up, he wasn't cool then.
He had to be Joe Jackson.
He was strict. Now he cool then.
You know all the Jacksons.
Touche. Right. I just said that now they just get the cool daddy.
No, they played for me when you played for me and all that. I was cool daddy.
You wasn't cool daddy.
Yes, I was.
You didn't get cool daddy till like.
I did everything. I was there.
You didn't get cool daddy.
I used to crank it up at your games.
You didn't get cool daddy till like the end of you staying and prosper.
I used to be at your games cranking it up.
But that doesn't make you cool daddy.
I don't want to be a cool daddy. I want to be daddy daddy.
I'm talking about with the way you treated me and my other siblings and me and Bucky and all them. They get like cool fun you.
No, they got a.
We got Joe Jackson.
They got an older one.
Okay.
Y'all grew up in the Joe Jackson environment.
Okay. Okay.
Joe Jackson type of environment.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a environment.
Keep it cute.
The face that she made just told it all. Just told exactly how he was towards her. Deandra has some real daddy issues, and you can tell by the men she decides to surround herself with and by her fake hood bitch persona she wants to put on.
Anyways, we are now headed to Jacksonville with the gang. I need to get this wig redone, y'all. Like, if y'all was to see up under here, I think the roller coasters like took it off. I need to get my hair done, go to Jacksonville. You see it. I got all dolled up thanks to my girls Lyric and Maya. Got us right for the concert. We looking for some hoochie daddies tonight, Jacksonville. I'm just playing, but y'all know that's my song. You would have got it.
Man, y'all got this man jumping out of cab. That's Pop. Hey, Pop.
How are you? We had a time last night, y'all. We finally headed back to Orlando.
When a father is very, very present within a daughter's life, he will instill the things into her that she needs to know to not get caught in a trap with rappers and niggas like Boosie. She should steer clear of that. He shouldn't even be on her radar. You feel me? That lets me know that she got some real deeply rooted issues going on. That man is a decade older than her.
Today is our big appointment. My mom came to town. They said they're gonna show every part of the baby. So yeah, mommy, what are you most excited about today? I'm just excited to be here with my grandbaby. I forgot where to go. Today I'm 18 weeks and 5 days. Everyone keeps saying my stomach is little, but I think it's getting big. Grandma C. What you said you wanted to be called? Mama C or C Mama? C Mama. C Mama. C Mama, that's it. C Mama. C Mama, fine. C Mama. C Mama. Okay, well, C Mama. Y'all been okay?
Yes.
That's good. It's on day. I really want you to
Got C Mama in the building. Girl, want to see.
I saw the baby. I saw the head. I saw it sucking his thumb, hand across the chest. I saw the long arms. Oh, yes, I did. And I saw the gender.
Yes, she done messed around and got herself pregnant by one of these hip-hop artists. These men shouldn't even be on her radar. Her self-esteem should be so high that she should look at them like, y'all don't got the quality that I'm looking for.
The boys weren't happy at first, but I think now they're starting to accept it.
Yeah.
Because that's their big sister.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they want everything right.
And nobody's good enough for your big sister.
Nobody good enough for you.
Nobody.
Y'all gonna criticize anybody.
Right.
Congratulations on the ready to be grandpa.
The sisters too. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Is that the initial call that you guys made to me? Well, I got a conference call from all the young men. What was that conference call about?
I was upset that you ain't say nothing.
No, your brothers love you, baby.
I know, that's understandable. I thought y'all was gonna be real mad.
140. What are you disappointed? Oh, what's this?
From the doctor visit.
What's this? Show me how to read this thing.
I don't know how to read it. I just see the baby part.
On the baby part?
And don't even get me started on the things that I heard she was involved in at JSU. I'm not even gonna get into those, man, because I don't know those to be facts. I didn't see them with my own eyes, just a bunch of rumors, and I don't do rumors. But when it comes to Jackson State University, a lot of people feel like this is what made Deion a sellout. Y'all should be cautious to agree with that. Why? Because Deion sold out long before JSU. He sold out way back in the 80s. Y'all gotta understand, man. JSU was just a way to pull the black community back into Deion's character. Bring that character back online. That old, bragful, boastful Deion Sanders. That old primetime entertaining character. Put it back online. And the best way to do that is by going to a historically black college university. That'll get a lot of attention from the black community. And that's how you know it was a play on the black community, and they just wanted him to go ahead and snap that influence right back. So to see Deion leave, that was no surprise. Like I told y'all in the beginning, the man is not in control of his own career. It is being controlled by someone else. And you know that because back then, he let you know that he was gonna leave to Colorado. That's why ESPN put this graphic up.
I got one thing to say, this is my house. I built this and this is my house.
A coincidence? I think not. What are the chances of ESPN putting up a graphic of Deion in his playing days, standing in front of the Colorado University sign, letting y'all know that this is his house, foreshadowing what would come, 20, 30 years later? That's wild, right? Deion is always foreshadowing. Within his Hall of Fame speech, he let y'all know that he foreshadowed his entire career. He let y'all know that he foreshadowed the character and how the world would perceive it.
Of my mama. Because one of my friends in high school, he saw her in a hospital one night pushing a cart, and he came back and he clowned me. He ridiculed me and he mocked me because of my mama. So I made a pledge to myself that I don't care what it takes. I don't care what it may take. I'm not going to do anything illegal, but my mama would never have to work another day of her life. I created this image, this thing that you could imagine. You could love him or hate him, but he was pride. I would pre-rehearse the quotes. I would pre-rehearse the sayings because I knew I had the substance. I knew I had the goods. I knew I had the work ethic, but I needed to secure myself enough that my mama would never have to work another day of her life. So throughout my whole career, I understood there were going to be stones. Because when you make it a difference, it's going to be haters. When you're provoking change, it's going to be naysayers. People don't condone what they've never seen. And some of the stuff I tried to do, they had never seen. But when you talked about me, media, guess what? Behind you, I saw my mama. When you wrote about me, when you naysayed me, when you criticized me, I saw right through your papers, right through your TV, and I saw my mama. When you told me what I couldn't do, when you told me what I didn't do, when you told me what I would never be, I saw my mama pushing that cart. When you told me I was too small, I wasn't educated enough, I saw my mama. I don't know if you figured it out by now, but I just gave you prime. I just gave you the formula and who is really standing before you, because I was trick-or-treating and it wasn't even Halloween, because all the things you really thought I was and some of the things you didn't like, you didn't love, you didn't want to accept.
Here for the combine, Leon Van Castle.
Who's the new kid?
Sandcastle?
Sandcastle. Looks like an ugly Deion Sanders.
No idea where this kid came from, but he's really making a name for himself.
There's the guy that's telling you about Sandcastle.
That commercial let y'all know he is a puppet. It was always going to play out this way. His life was going to go as y'all see because it was planned. It is a script that he is reading. He is acting out a character. And I thank y'all to everybody who stayed until this point in the video, because here's where we finna get into the real topics. Now that we know all of the people who like the police this here too is gone, let's get into it, family. For those of you who don't catch the symbolism that Deion Sanders puts off, I want y'all to know that this man gives off a lot of the signals of being a brick builder, a builder from the East. If you don't know what that means, do your research on it. And there are two very prominent telltale signs that this man is involved with them boys in that secret organization. First one being the fact that he loves to take off his shoes in public and show his bruised feet. And that right there is the dress of a fellow craft. What is a fellow craft, you may ask? That is a mastery level within the builders from the East. Like I said, do your research and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm sure a lot of y'all might have came to the conclusion of who I'm speaking on by now. In this builder group, the fellow craft degree represents the transition from youthful to adulthood, whereby lessons, skills, and moral character each are further refined to prepare for the tasks and challenges ahead. Each degree is individually taught through its own unique workings and tools. So overall, fellow craft is just him announcing to his fellow craftsmen that he's entered into another level, into a mastery level. He's splashing on the scene. Him taking off his shoes and showing that bruised foot is his proclamation to the world and to other builders that he has moved up into elite status within the craft. The man will also show either the left foot or the right foot, depending on what message he's trying to relay, because both are bruised and messed up. Check this out.
So if you had, now you have the bad toe.
Yeah.
Wait, you're going to show us the bad toe?
Yeah, we're a family.
Oh, wow. How did you get that bad toe?
That's 3 surgeries. Mooch tells me that toe is flipping everybody off.
So we don't mean to be giving you the finger if you're watching,
right, that's
or
nice,
the toe.
Ladies, that's a nice pedicure, right?
But how did you get that?
It's the closest thing they call to turf toe. And it was just horrendous. I mean, I've never felt anything like it. And it was so bad that it began to be hammer toe.
Yeah.
So they had to shave it down and straighten it out. And that's what I got. But you could hit it on top with a hammer because it's numb.
Also in Freemasonry, each candidate is asked to take a short step with his left foot because he is anxious, unsure, worried about what might happen to him. And they also believe he is taking a step into the unknown. And that's why you see Deion Sanders taking a short step with his left foot.
It's numb right now, but it hurts.
Well, that's like Mr. Deeds with
right.
With Adam Sandler. Right?
Exactly.
He took a crowbar and they're hitting his feet. But how fast? If you're healthy,
one step faster than the next man. You can't put a time on Prime. Just one step back. Just one step back. I run as fast as I got to run.
And let me not fail to mention, because this is debatably the most important component to this whole one shoe off ordeal. And it is the fact that within these builders, they have something called the builder shoe, or also known as the blue slipper. And this is a symbolic confirmation that what has been said will be done. So it's pretty much a spiritual verbal contract binding the two parties that are involved in making this said agreement. In the past, these builders would remove one of their shoes and give it to the other person, and that would confirm the verbal contract. Now you're starting to see them removing that said shoe, and just leaving it in like a verbal spiritual aspect. So that's why you see Deion Sanders taking off his shoes whenever he's going on these game shows and on these interviews for, whatever he's going on interviews for.
What would you do with this big toe?
He got the same big toe I got, mama. He got the same big.
What would you do with that?
That's turf toe. What would you do?
I would refer you to a podiatrist.
Number 2, what would you do for that?
I would say the podiatrist specialty, but it depends if there's fungus there too.
Oh, no, that's definitely fungus there.
That's not fungus.
No, that's fungus.
Did you say
fungus?
Mama, look, he got a toe like me. What would you do with that, number 3?
I would give him the sports pedicure, probably a good soak and a paraffin.
Primetime is just getting on national TV and acting out these rituals that he is being told to do, to allow his fellow craftsmen to know, I am fully embedded in what we got going on. I'm living in the secrecy, and whatever y'all tell me to do to keep up with this lifestyle, I will do. Not to mention, it is just flat out a humiliation ritual. How humiliating is it to get on national TV and have to show off a dead fungus foot? His toes look like they belong in someone's graveyard. How humiliating is it to get on national TV and have to do that? And why did they keep on showing this to us time and time again? But let's dig a little deeper though, family, because it only gets worse from here. I want y'all to peek every time something major comes up centered around Deion Sanders' name. There's always something LGBTQ being attached to it. I don't think y'all really noticed that though.
Colorado State football player openly comes out as gay football player before the game against Deion. What does Deion have to do with any of this? With any of it? Before game? What you think Deion's gonna take? We took this, but they went and made this one personal. He came out as gay before the game against me. Now it's personal. Don't make anything about Deion.
Remember what I told y'all, Satan is very boastful, putting it right in front of y'all face, letting y'all know without letting y'all know. Now in this next clip, it comes from his old TV show. Tell me if y'all see anything that looks highly suspect here. Anything that looks PDF file here.
Doing good.
He pats his lap and tells his 11-year-old son to come sit on his lap.
Yeah, you got a great heart.
Don't you?
Notice how he rubbing that boy's chest and like rubbing around his nipples area. Y'all know what I mean? And look how uncomfortable Shadur is.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's with it. That's with it. With it. With it. I love my babies to life. Right now, love you, man. 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 I love you so much.
Do y'all see how Shadur is fighting him off? And like he pulled his hand back, looked him in his eyes, looked like he was ready to kiss him on his lips, and then start kissing that boy's neck. Like, bro, that's strange, bro. That's straight up weird. But since we can find some weird stuff in that TV show, let's look back at a few of his guest appearances on other TV shows and see what else we can find that this man had going on within him. Little things that the producers planted.
The shoulder, the shoulder, the shoulder, the shoulder.
He caressed LL's chest, and look how these men are looking at each other, bro. Weird.
The rings, baby, check these rings. The rings, baby, check these rings. The rings, baby, check these rings.
Dang, who does your nails?
Jerry Jones.
Just that whole little scene right there looks zesty. How they got the man standing behind him. He like bobbing back and forth, talking about his hair and nails. Look, it just looks zesty, man. But this next clip I want to show y'all, I got to give y'all a little context first. When I was a kid, I remember watching a fad that was going on in like the 70s and 80s. That was way before my time. But I remember watching them cutting their sleeves. And that's something Deion did as well. Now, that fad wasn't coincidence. It was something that was done strategically, because the term cutting the sleeves is a euphemism for HOMO in Mandarin. And it is taken from a famous story where Emperor Han and his lover Don Ixon were napping together. The emperor had to wake up and attend a court audience, but Don Ixon was fast asleep with his head resting on the emperor's long robe sleeve. According to the history of Han, the emperor, upon finding Don sleeping on his sleeve and having been called to a meeting while lying with his dude, cut off his sleeve rather than stir the boy from his sleep. And by stir the boy, they do mean boy, because Don was a young boy, as y'all see right here in this picture on y'all screen. This is a picture from the actual story, basically letting y'all see who these people were. So it was a PDF file situation. So overall, the cutting of the sleeves comes from this Mandarin story about an emperor, and these celebrities in the US adopted it and made it a fad for young boys to do. Basically, y'all know, associating themselves with LGBTQ. And it reminds me of that HOMO agenda of 1987. If y'all have not heard that or read it, go ahead and go read that yourself. We looked at it on this platform, but I can't remember exactly what video we looked at it in, but that's what you're seeing these celebrities portray to the youth, that HOMO agenda of 1987. Now, I want y'all to look at Deion Sanders, and the reason why this relates and correlates with Deion Sanders is because when he joined the MLB, he decided that he was going to cut his sleeves, and it was this whole big old thing at the time when he decided to do this. That was like a rebellious thing that his team eventually turned around and did as well to support Deion Sanders. Check this out.
This is illegal in baseball, and Deion Sanders went to war with MLB because of it. He began cutting his sleeves in 1997 to honor Jackie Robinson. It was the 50th anniversary of him breaking the color barrier. Deion had apparently seen him on a Wheaties box, and it inspired him to cut his sleeves like Robinson. So while Deion's teammates wore normal sleeves that looked like this, Deion showed up to games looking like this. However, MLB had a rule that stated all teammates must wear sleeves that are within 1 inch of each other. The league said that if Deion continued to wear sleeves like this, they would find the team every single game until he stopped. This outraged the Reds players, who went to their GM and got him to change the team's uniforms so they could all match Deion's short sleeves. And for the rest of the season, the team wore cutoff sleeves inspired by Deion and Jackie Robinson.
This is all a game to these people, and all they trying to do is brainwash the youth. They want y'all to be involved in a lifestyle that is against the Most High. That's just what it is. I'm sorry, man, if anybody or part of that community gets offended by that, but I'm only gonna give y'all the truth. Now, Deion also went on an interview with Skip Bayless back in the 90s where they talked about Troy Aikman being G-A-Y, and he put himself into that and said, I'm not G-A-Y, but Troy is a good-looking guy. Letting y'all know, just throwing those little hints out there, because this is what he's being told to do, and this is the lifestyle he's involved in behind closed doors.
That Troy is gay. Now, I've talked to Troy about it.
I have never heard that. This is a man. I'm not gay, but Troy is a good-looking guy.
He is a good-looking guy. I agree.
And I'm sure
I talked to Troy.
I'm sure he can get any woman he wants.
He says he is absolutely not gay.
Do you know what
yes, I know exactly what it is.
will do to a guy like Troy Aikman, whose endorsement potential is unbelievable?
Wow, right? What a coincidence. Just so happened to be talking about all his GAY stuff, and you got all this GAY stuff going on, like putting makeup on your face. And watch how this man decides to look over at this wig. This was the commercial that he put out where he said he was Leon Sandcastle and became the #1 pick in that draft. At the beginning, man, he was literally in drag. He was doing drag. Letting y'all know once again, every time he goes in front of the public's eye, they expose him for who he really is behind closed doors without actually exposing him. So it's right there in y'all face, but y'all pay no attention to it. And the biggest one of all that really messed me up when it came to Deion and turned me away from everything that Deion Sanders is, man, this one truly bothered me, was when he got on stage with all those celebrities a few years to say.
How did you come to know Christ?
How did I come? Hell,
yeah, tell me that moment.
Hell. I was kissing hell. I was making love to hell. I was adopted by hell. I was going through hell at the height of everything. I was going to hell. I was winning Super Bowls, playing in World Series, doing my thing, but had no peace, no joy. Didn't feel like no one loved me but my kids. The only thing that I felt like was real and authentic and loved me because they the only one who knew me.
If y'all was listening, all y'all heard this man say was that he was in love with hell. He was kissing hell. He was sleeping with hell. He glorified hell. He didn't say anything good about the Most High. Why? Because the Most High is not the God he worships. He worships a different God. Y'all got to be careful when y'all hear these people say, I follow God, trusting God. God got me here. God is the reason why I have this fortune. They are not talking about the same God that we worship. They are not talking about the Most High God. There are many gods. That's why the Most High God says he's the Most High. He is above all. You feel me? The Almighty. So you gotta pay attention and look at the works. You gotta judge people by their works, and that's just what it is, man. Now this man right here, man, he's involved in some deeply weirdo type of stuff, and it makes sense now as to the reason why he would leave his wife for no reason. I know y'all remember that video where Shiloh asked him, why did you leave my mom? A good woman. Y'all had a great marriage. He couldn't give no real answer and never really gave a real answer. He televised their divorce, made her look bad, slandered her name and whatnot, but never really gave no real reason as to the reason why he was leaving his woman when he was the one on the road going all the time and she was at home taking care of the kids. She was holding down a fort. Yeah, he was paying the bills, but she was holding down a fort. You feel me? The reason why was because he's not attracted physically to any woman. These dudes that are in the industry of entertainment, they are in the closet, undercover LBGTQs. They are not men. At least masculine men. Y'all know what I mean. On the outside, they look like masculine men. They masquerade around as masculine men. They have the silhouette. That's why they are athletes, high-level athletes. Do stuff that a regular man cannot do. Playing NFL at a high level, NBA at a high level. They are also rappers who masquerade as gangsters and thugs and street dudes and just these tough dudes. But inwardly, they are females. They like to be penetrated. They ruin women to where she can no longer trust any man. They ruin women to the point where they get on the internet and think all men are evil or no good and they should no longer deal with men. That's these type of men, these entertainers. These dudes are the enemy for any real man on a coup, and that's just what it is. So now it makes sense as to the reason why he would just leave his wife for no reason on a coup. And it makes sense as to the reason why his daughter is just running around looking for any man that does not know what a real man looks like. That's why she has gotten her industry dude who is just like him. Very feminine. On the inside, dude is a female.
Hey, you know why these videos gonna be so fun? Why? Because our kids get to watch it and be like, oh, this what y'all was doing?
Yeah.
Right, this is the new she thought I was a nobody, y'all.
That, why are you lying?
She thought we was gonna come over here and nobody's gonna know me. So out here, they like Jacquees, the real ones gonna see you.
That is not true. I just said you didn't need security down here.
You want outside?
DeAndre Broadnecks. You gotta start DeAndre Sanders Broadnecks.
But that's not my YouTube channel.
It's DeAndre Sanders Broadnecks, bro.
DeAndre Sanders.
Her last name Broadnecks.
Is that the athlete speed you be talking about?
Put the camera on my feet. I bet you won't. Yeah, they're good toes.
Babe, stop. Let me see. Let me zoom in on them. Okay, this is not a good angle. But they do look better. So go to Anguilla tomorrow.
Should I leave that? I feel like we should pick that up.
Yeah.
Thank you. We shouldn't litter.
Yeah.
Even though your mama said they give people a job.
I'm cutting that.
50 Tyson didn't deserve that. Deion Sanders didn't deserve that. Sammy Davis Jr. didn't deserve his legs to get taken. Diddy don't deserve the devil always want to take something and make it his.
I started driving that car, building up my courage. And I veered off the highway into a 40-foot drop, and the car was in the air. My eyes was closed. I knew once I opened my eyes that it would all be over. All my struggles, all my depression, all my anxiety, all my pain. I even wrote the will out before I left to the people who I thought might have cared. But I was in that air and I hit the bottom. Then I opened my eyes and I was still there. Now I say, I know this is a 40-foot drop. There's no way in the world that I should still be living. But that's where God comes in, see? The devil had me by both legs and one arm, but God ushered that car down the side of that highway into that deep fall and say, oh, no. I got work for him to do. He ain't going nowhere yet. In the name of Jesus, somebody come on, praise the Lord.
That's why I tell y'all to listen closely, because most of y'all on the surface would have thought he said, God save me, meaning the Most High. But he told y'all the devil had him by both legs and both arms. And God said, no, God saved him. He does not mean the Most High. He was talking about the devil. He literally just told y'all the devil had a hold of him when he drove that car off the cliff. Told him the devil had him by both arms and both legs. The devil said, no, the devil saved him. That's what he just said.
The devil had me by both legs and one arm, but God ushered that car down. The devil had me by both legs and one arm, but God ushered that car down. The devil had me by both legs and one arm, but God ushered that car down the side of that highway into that deep fall and say, oh, no. I got work for him to do. He ain't going nowhere yet. In the name of Jesus, somebody come on, praise the Lord.
Y'all have got to be careful, man, because these people like this, they are nothing but agents, misinformation agents, agents of chaos. They're idols. Satan uses them to infiltrate the lukewarm and into the church. Stop allowing this, man. Pay attention. Judge them by their works. That's all you have to do. Look into these people before you put any faith into anything or never put your faith in man. Only put your faith into the Most High. But before you trust any man, look at their works. Look at what they do. We will all be judged off our works. You need to judge people off their works. See, people tell you, the world tell you, you're not supposed to judge. Judge not, yet you be judged. But that's not what that scripture meant. That scripture meant to judge out of righteous judgment. So judge everyone righteously, not as a hypocrite. We will all be judged by our works. And this man's works has been perverted, and he lusts over money. They try to put that story out that Colorado didn't have the money to pay. I'm telling y'all, he got paid. That was just for narrative.